Okay. Hi, everyone. I'm Janice Wood. Welcome to a show for Senior Citizens Forum on subjects that are concerning senior citizens. And today we're going to be talking about fitness and exercise and why we should be doing that. But first, I'm going to talk about myself. I am a licensed insurance agent, and my specialty is Medicare insurance. Right now, it's the open enrollment period for Medicare insurance, specifically if you have a Medicare Advantage plan. If you didn't get it reviewed during the annual election period, which was October 7th through October 15th through December 7th, you can have it reviewed during this period also, and you can change it one time or revert back to original Medicare and pick up a prescription drug plan. For those of you that have other types of health insurance, if you want a February effective date or a review and change your plan, you have until January 31st. But we're going to talk about exercising today and why it's so important and why the doctors always are telling us to exercise and why we have so many excuses not to exercise. Okay, and that laugh comes from Drew Mercury, who happens to be my personal trainer, and he is great. He's heard every excuse there is. But one of the better things about Drew Mercury is that not only is he a personal trainer, he loves to go swing dancing. He has been an improv comedian, which works really well with his clients because he uses that on us to make us work and helps us move to the next step, which he's done. I've worked out with Drew for in March will be 4 years. And we just have a super good time together. At least I feel like it is. Okay. And during this pandemic, he's been working with some clients like me through Zoom or FaceTime, or I don't know if you have any other forms that you're working, okay? Right now, I have a dog that's walking around that doesn't want to stop barking, but Drew knows my dog. This is her time of the day and doesn't understand why we're doing this, okay? So, Drew, tell us something about yourself, why you've done all these different things in your lifetime. Why did you decide to become a personal trainer and help people like senior citizens, or you don't have to be a senior citizen to work out with you, okay? So I'm gonna add, if you're a senior citizen and you're watching this and you know somebody who's not a senior citizen and needs to see this, please share, okay?
Absolutely.
Absolutely. So Drew, how did you get to be a personal trainer? And let's go for it.
Early on in my adult life, I'd always thought about doing speaking, like personal development speaking or coaching or something like that. And I was in a career that just had a ceiling. It wasn't even really a career. It was more like a job. And I was looking to make a difference in people's lives and also be able to coach and teach and speak. And personal training was a great way to accomplish all those things. I'm able to see the growth in people, have a every week, if not several times a week, effect on people's lives. I get to major satisfaction from all the benefits that they get if they continue to work out and eat well. And so it's just, I've always been athletic myself. I love to work out and play sports. And so it was easy for me to basically get certified and make the transition. And I've been doing it now for, almost 17 years.
I didn't realize you were doing that for so long, because I always hear you talking about going swing dancing. Of course, you haven't done that since last February.
Correct.
Okay. And I know you've done Toastmasters. I've heard you talk about Toastmasters.
Yes.
So you have a lot of passion, but you have seniors that you work with.
Yes.
I know one of the things that I'm always been concerned, because I'm in my mid 70s.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And you and I work a lot with balance.
Yes.
We work a lot with strengthening muscles.
Yes.
Okay. So how do people, go about starting if they want to? Of course, you're always willing to help them.
Sure.
Okay, get them started. Now, Drew is located in Newport Beach.
Right.
But he works out with people all over.
Yes. Via
like
Zoom,
me.
FaceTime, and even outdoors sometimes.
Yeah, because like me, I live about 30 minutes from Newport Beach, depending upon the traffic.
Right.
And this has worked out really great. I love it. Okay.
Yeah, it has.
So as a senior, what should you start with? It's hard. I mean, I just heard from my partner in life here that, and I was supposed to tell Drew, and I'm going to tell him on the broadcast.
Oh.
He tried riding his bike today.
Oh, good. Okay.
But he fell.
He fell?
Yeah.
Oh, no.
So we're going to come up with some alternatives.
Yeah, maybe some training wheels or something. No,
well, the training wheels, I was thinking about maybe for cardio in the house, maybe buying a piece of equipment that you can exercise with.
Well, before we continue, is he okay, first of all?
Yes, he's perfectly fine.
Okay, all right, good. I don't want to make light of it if he's not doing well.
No, he did not hurt himself. That's the good thing. He said to tell you that. I'm glad you asked.
Yeah, no, I'm glad he's okay.
Yeah.
So, well, it's funny because, so for those of you who are watching, Leon, I guess I shouldn't.
Okay, you can say.
Her partner is usually in the background walking through the kitchen and so forth when I'm training Janice. And I've been trying to get him to commit to just walking. And he did it, I think, once, maybe twice. And then all of a sudden, one week he said, well, I'm going to ride a bike, actually, Drew. And I thought, okay, that's good. That's great. That's whatever. I always try to encourage people to do what they like to do. So I figured if he doesn't like walking, riding a bike would be the better way to go. So for some people, I guess it might be better off to actually just start off walking, or at least make sure if you haven't ridden a bike in a long time, maybe do it on some grass or something and sort of build up to riding it where there's cement and so forth. But what I usually just tell people as far as getting started is do something and try to pick something that you think you're going to enjoy in some way. There's some people who don't enjoy working out in a gym or don't enjoy walking or whatever they don't enjoy. I say, well, don't do that. I suggest you do something you think you would like, because most people, even if they're super inactive and haven't worked out, after the first one or two times, your body craves movement. It's built and designed to move. So even if the first one or two times your bones are a little creaky and your attitude's a little, cranky, ultimately, I've never had anybody work out and at the end of the hour say, oh, I feel worse. You'll always feel a little better after you do anything, as long as it's movement and as long as you don't fall if you're on a bike. But so I would just suggest that. Do something like walking or even just stretching. You can even literally just sit in a chair and stand up and sit down back in the chair 10 to 20 times just to get started. Do something.
Well, even if you only can do it a couple of times.
Sure, absolutely.
Better than not doing anything.
Absolutely. Anything's better than nothing.
Anything. I've been an exercise person almost my whole life. Mm-hmm. And it's really hard to stay motivated.
It is.
So I have a girlfriend who lives outside of Yosemite, who watches these shows all the time.
Right.
And she and her daughter, who lives outside of San Francisco, one of the things that they do together, they found an exercise class online.
Awesome.
And that was, and that's a way for her to spend time with her daughter and exercise at the same time.
That's really great. I like that.
It's really cool. I like that she does that.
Yeah, and that's her motivation. She gets to spend time with her daughter.
Yeah. So, but one of the things that I think is real important for seniors, okay, falling.
Yes.
Falling is something that's so important. I have a lady that I'm friends with,
Mm-hmm.
and I have medical power of attorney for her.
Right.
And she's a nice sized lady.
Okay.
Who's never done any exercise.
Right.
And she fell
Mm-hmm.
in her bathroom and lives by herself.
Right.
And she laid on the floor for 12 hours. She couldn't get up. And with the lack of exercising,
mm-hmm.
she wasn't even able to push her personal alert system.
Whoa. Like she didn't have the strength to push her button.
She didn't have the strength.
Oh.
And so that's one of the things, as being in my mid 70s,
mm-hmm.
We talk, I think is so important that
Sure.
Drew and I, we work at balance and we work at getting up and down.
Right.
Somebody hasn't gotten up, have been on the floor.
Right.
I could sit next to a couch.
Right.
Something very stationary.
Right.
Try getting up.
Right.
Because if you can't do it, that really means you need to exercise.
Yes. I recommend just sort of taking the same tact as starting where you are beginning, if you will, is if you are uncertain whether or not you can get up off the ground, make sure someone else is in the room with you the first 1 or 2 times where you try it. Because even if there's a couch, there's some people who, even with the use of a couch, can't get off the ground. And you don't want to just get stuck. So I would, you know, at the very least, have your phone with you so you can call for help. But I would probably suggest you have a loved one with you if you have any sort of question as to whether or not you could get up. But yes, getting up off the ground is super important, because I've heard, unfortunately, a few too many stories of the experience your friend had where older people have fallen and they've been alone and they can just not get up, and they literally have to wait for somebody to discover them. And it is just, in most cases, it doesn't have to be the case.
Yeah. And it's very scary if you can't get off the ground.
Well, that, and then also, we've talked about this many times, but you know, the risk of breaking a hip when you fall, just that in and of itself is a huge concern for seniors, and rightfully so. It's a very, very fragile thing to break in anybody, but especially a senior citizen. You break a hip and that can lead to inactivity, and that's just a downward spiral into unhealthiness.
Right. So that's really important. Last week I had Dr. Amber Voltinko on, and we were talking about osteoarthritis, and she was saying that sometimes you fall because of the joints not being able to support you any longer.
Correct.
Yeah. So that's where your exercise really, you know, when you're doing it and going through that exercise, it's like, why am I doing this to myself? But when you're through, it's like, I feel better. Everything is moving better.
Right.
I mean,
if you have grandchildren, I mean, it allows you to not have any concerns about playing with your grandchildren on the floor, because you know that you'll be able to get up and just, you know, get going right after you play with them. So, I mean, it's a quality of life thing, in my opinion, that is important no matter how old you are. You know, being able to get up and down, being able to maintain your balance. These things are not just important for your safety, but quality of life.
Yeah, quality of life is real important. And then even getting out of a chair. So right. I always laugh now because I see these commercials where there's these chairs that
right.
help you.
Right, the chair like whoop, boosts you up. Right, you don't need that.
To me, I don't want to do that because I want my muscles to work.
Sure.
I need something like that. That means I'm not using my muscles to work.
Can I add one thing?
Yes, of course.
So let's say someone listening now says, well, I need that chair to get up. What I would suggest is, I'm not too familiar with those chairs, but I imagine that it's not automatically, it doesn't go from one setting all the way up. What I would suggest is maybe start off by just having the chair come up to a certain height, a little lower than you're used to getting up from, and start practicing there. And then as you get better and better, try to get, you know, up from a lower position. I think that might be a good way to start for some people.
Okay. Now, if I were somebody that was just starting out.
Yes.
And let's say I don't have anything. Now, when we started working out on Zoom last, I think it was March.
Right.
I was fortunate enough that I had some stuff.
Right.
So I was really fortunate. And I'm going to show, because of Drew, I have this strength that I have an 8-pound weight that I can lift over my head, thanks to Drew.
I love it.
And he has me going like this.
Doing bicep curls, absolutely.
Bicep curls, absolutely. And Drew has worked really hard with me because I have this thing about not having bat arms or fans or whatever you want to call them.
Bat wings.
Bat wings. I've heard them called many different things.
Yeah, those are looking good, Janice. I like it.
Yeah. My arms are by Drew. I mean,
I like that. That's a good tagline. Arms by Drew.
Arms by Drew. Yes, definitely. Okay. So it's really important that you have that. Now, the other thing that you can get now, one of the things, and Drew and I have talked about it because I need to get some heavier weights, thanks to him. Right now, the prices of weights are really high.
Unfortunately, yes.
Unfortunately. So there's other things you could do. Now, sometimes I work out with another lady that's a friend of both Drew's and mine, and we work out. She's in her home, I'm in my home, and Drew works out with us on Zoom, and she will use a bottle of bleach.
Exactly. Or detergent or something like that, exactly.
Why up over here a Listerine bottle, but it's shaped funny. But you can still go like this with it to start off with.
Yeah, things like detergent bottles, water bottles, paint cans are quite heavy most of the time. Things like that, just weights. I mean, not for nothing, if you're really just a novice and don't feel too strong, soup cans, full can of soup probably weighs about 10 ounces, 12 ounces, you just do enough reps and you'll feel it, especially if you're doing something overhead or something.
Oh, definitely overhead. If you're not used to it, overhead, definitely.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And I know I have some pictures to share with everybody.
Oh yeah, let's see them.
Okay, and you have to remember, everybody, I am in my mid-70s. On the other side. Okay, so I'm going to start off with where I'm working on balance. Okay, so here I am working on balance using a step stool.
Yes, and so you're holding an 8-pound weight. And I want people to make note of one thing in particular. When we first started this, if you notice her right hand that doesn't have the weight, she used to have to grab onto the step stool to balance. And now you notice she's has the hand at the ready just in case, but she doesn't need the hand anymore to get up. Plus, we've increased the weight over time. She used to do no weight. Then we went to 5 pounds and now 8. And now she has the hand hovering, but you see she's not grabbing the step stool. So your strength and your balance has improved greatly. Yeah,
so it's real important. Just a simple step stool like this, you can use in your home without spending anything. So I have another share. I've got to go out of one and go into the other. Okay, where I'm doing a plank, which is a yoga exercise. And I see my rear end sticking up in doing this. but this is really hard to do.
Yes. And so I allow you to stick your butt up a little bit because I want to protect your lower back. Oh, there we see Leon in the background, by the way, getting to go on his bike ride.
I think I was laughing there too. I couldn't control.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's a beautiful plank and you hold it for a minute. I mean, that's unbelievable. Some of my younger clients can't do that.
Right. But this is something that's happened over time. It didn't just happen.
Absolutely. We used to do 30 seconds.
The first time I tried doing this, I was lucky I even got on my elbows.
Right.
So that's what's really interesting. And if you look over here, this is another piece of exercise, a roller.
Yes.
I have a ball. This is stuff I happen to have had over the years that I collected. And I love my mat.
Oh, it's a great mat.
It's a great, great mat. And if anybody noticed in the picture with the step stool, I'm stepping on the mat, which is helping my knees and my hip joints, so it's not so hard on them.
Exactly.
Made it softer because it's a tile floor that I'm working out on.
Yes.
Okay, so let me go out of here and stop sharing. So that was fun. Now, another thing you can do, and this is really easy to get, and it strengthens those rear end muscles, is you can do a lot with this band.
Absolutely. I can do a whole hour of workout with just a couple bands with people.
Yeah. And so like this one's tied, you can work your biceps, your muscles right here. You can work those triceps right here. You can work legs.
Yeah, you put it around your knees and you can work your butt and your legs.
Yeah. So this is a really great tool to be
and
working.
That is something super simple to get, and they're not even with the price gouging that's going on during the quarantine. They're still not very expensive at all, and they're very effective.
Right, and I mean, it really makes a difference, and they come in different strengths.
Correct. If anybody has any questions about which brand or type to order, they can contact me, and I'll be more than happy to send them a link.
Well, when we're finished talking, before we finish talking, I'm going to bring up how people can contact you.
That'd be great.
Okay. So, and Drew is also easy to find on Facebook.
Yes.
Yes, definitely. I also have, and these things are beyond old.
Look at those ankle weights. Woohoo!
My ankle weights.
That might be 1980s right there, 1970s.
It would have to be 1980s or late 70s.
Yeah.
I've had these forever.
That's awesome.
And so sometimes the ankle weights go around around here, and he's increasing my weight, but I know I've got to break down and get a 10-pound weight very soon, which is really great.
That's a good problem to have.
Yes.
Because you're getting so strong.
Yay! That's what it's all about.
Yes. So
like I work out with Drew from once to twice a week, depending upon his schedule and my schedule, because I've got so much activity going on.
You're one of the busiest people I know.
Yes. I make work for myself.
It's good.
Yeah. I like being busy.
Absolutely.
So what are the other benefits, Drew, that we get from working out?
Well, I mean, number one, probably most importantly, disease prevention. It lessens heart disease. It helps prevent diabetes. It improves your mental health. It just promotes natural, positive hormones in your body. So, I mean, there's just so many benefits, whether you're young or senior or anybody, that just help. It's good for joint health. It's good for cardiorespiratory system. I mean, exercise, like I said, the body is designed to move or designed for exercise. So it's an innate part of who we are. Yeah.
Well, one of the things as a senior, some of the things just wear out.
Yes.
Okay. Because I've been a jogger. I used to run in 5K marathons. I tore the meniscus, and that's in your knee. And that has been a problem in the last 10 years for a long time. So Drew works all around that. All of a sudden I'll say to him, well, this is hurting now. He always has an exercise for me. Sure. And guess what? It always feels better after we do that exercise. I don't know what else to say. It's just that it works better. Also,
that's enough said.
Okay. Also, it helps the brain. You mentioned mentally.
Absolutely.
I mean, lots of times when Drew will say, okay, I'm timing you for 2.5 seconds. And
No,
I'm counting.
2.5 minutes.
2.5 minutes, sorry.
Yeah.
You're right.
We don't do
it doesn't feel like seconds. It's
the only thing you get to do for 2.5 seconds is take a break, maybe. That's about it.
great, yeah. But during that 2.5 minutes, okay, my mind has to be doing something. So I count.
Right.
This is stuff he doesn't know that I do. I'll count to like 25, and then I'll go, all right, 25, and then I go backwards on the 25.
Right.
So I'm making my brain, I'm trying to make my brain function more.
Right. It's good.
Yeah.
I like you stimulating your brain and your body at the same time.
Yes. And sometimes he gives you exercises that definitely stimulate your brain.
Absolutely. Coordination and hand-eye coordination, things like that, balance, that always makes your brain work.
And he will tell me, your worst enemy, Janice, is in your head.
Yep, absolutely.
Because I'm going, I can't do that. and I do things that several years ago I would not believe I could do.
Correct. Which I love hearing, by the way.
Yes. So and then the other lady that works out with me sometimes, that she does a lot of walking.
Yes.
And I don't think they run, but they do go up hills and stuff.
Some of them do. I don't think she's really doing much running anymore.
Okay.
But she walks a lot, for sure. She does not just street walking. She'll go on hikes that have a lot of inclines and things like that. So it's some tough treks. And
she'll put stuff on Facebook all the time. Thank you, Drew. Thank you, Drew. So it's very, very interesting.
Yes.
So it's just, working out. If you have a trainer, I find my working out with Drew makes me work out correctly. And I have an aunt that's 93 and a half years old. Mm-hmm. And to this day, she goes to the gym 4 times a week. Now, she doesn't live in California because the gym's not open, okay? Right. All right. But in the state that she lives in, she's everybody's hero.
Oh, of course. She's my hero. I love that.
She's everyone's hero. And she's amazing. She's absolutely amazing. She has little health conditions. I mean, she was a nurse practitioner.
Well, I hope you realize, Janice, to many people that know you, you are their inspiration, just so you know.
Yes.
I hope you know that.
Thank you.
Yes, it's true.
But it's like, I always look at it, well, my aunt's 93 and a half. Right.
But for people who are in their 50s or early 60s or, approaching 70, they see you and what you're capable of and how busy you stay at work and how mentally sharp you are. And you inspire them that they know, okay, great, 10, 15, 20 years from now, I'm still going to be super involved in life and able to do a lot of the things that I enjoyed doing. And, hopefully have my wits about me. And I mean, that's a big deal. So I want to acknowledge you for that.
Well, thank you.
You're welcome.
You. So I have a very impatient dog right now.
Oh, that's okay.
Yes. So is there anything else that you would like to add to our conversation today?
I think just one thing that you sort of maybe led into was when you said, the older you get, things just start to break down. Right. And so probably in closing, one thing I just want to encourage people out there, especially the seniors, is how important maintenance is for your body. We always take care of our car every certain 1,000 miles. We go for a service and checkups and things like that. And we go to the doctor, but there's things that you can be doing on your own to maintain your body at its highest performance and highest ability. Things like drinking a lot of water, getting enough sleep. When something is sore, like a sore muscle, maybe putting an ice pack on it for 10 to 15 minutes. You pointed out in the picture the foam roller that you have. Mm-hmm. That is a device. The foam roller is used for basically self-massage, where you can lay your legs on it or maybe your back, depending on how soft your roller is. And you can rub out on your own certain muscles that might need loosening up or just some relaxing, if you will. So just wanted to share that, make sure that the people out there that are listening realize that maintenance of your body is, yes, it's up to doctors and nurses that you go to see and your healthcare practitioners, but ultimately the responsibility resides with you, and the importance of that gets more serious the older you get.
Okay. Well, one of the things I want to talk about right now before we finish up, okay, yeah. All right, is what should you be looking for if you want to work out with a trainer in person? I know I'm going to put your information up right now and how to contact you. Yes. But let's just say somebody is watching this from New York.
Right.
Okay. And they want to work out with a trainer in person. What should you be looking for a trainer?
I think it's always a good idea to, you don't want to buy, let's say, a package right away from a trainer until you've tested he or she out. Make sure you guys are a good fit, not only for the quality of trainer, but also personality. There's been a few people I've met over the years that, you know, personality wise, we just didn't seem to be a good fit. And so we didn't really work together. But to sit down with the trainer, I think one of the things that a good trainer should do before they start exercising with you is ask you about any and all of your limitations and or injuries that you are currently dealing with, and definitely talk to you about what your goals are. If they don't set you up on any goals, then you're not really, there's nothing for you to really aim for. And you want it to work out with intention. You don't want to just go in for the sake of working out. So you're looking for a trainer that listens to you, knows learns your body and things that you are capable of and things you might be capable of that you're not even aware of, but also respects your limitations, doesn't get you to do anything that is causing you inappropriate pain, and pretty much go from there. And also just somebody you sort of click with personality wise.
And the other thing is, when I first started working out with Drew, I knew him on a personal scale before we started to work out.
True.
But when we actually started working out, he asked me, what do you think is important about a trainer? And he knew when he asked that question, he knew he was going to be the third trainer I've had. So I had some experience. Also, I've had experience being in gyms.
Right.
So I want to make sure that a trainer's listening to me and also watching me, because it's so easy for your form not to be correct.
True.
And if I'm working out with a trainer, I want my form to be correct. I've been in gyms and I've watched trainers and their person is working out and they have no idea what that person's doing.
Right.
None at all. So that's one thing. If you see you hire a trainer that's not paying attention to you, you need to get rid of that trainer, because you don't want the trainer to create problems for you.
Exactly.
So that's my piece. So here's Drew's information right here. He's very accessible. Right. Everybody I've had on my show is very accessible. You also can find him. Here's his website. You can also find him on Facebook. Now, yes. Are you there as Drew Mercury for the fitness? Or?
Yes, you can find me. It's probably better to find me on Instagram, and then okay. That'll link you to my Facebook. Because my Facebook is my real name, which is Drew Mercury. So I just go by Drew Mercury for my business.
Okay.
It's a lot easier to spell.
And of course, there I am right there. And Drew, thank you so much.
My absolute pleasure.
And this is always fun. And I know I'm going to see you on Friday.
Oh, yes. I'll see you Friday.
Yes. Okay. I have to change something I just made. Okay. I will definitely be seeing you on Friday.
All right. Can you bring me back on the screen so I can say goodbye to your audience?
Oh, definitely. Okay, hold on. I'll stop.
I don't know if I am on the screen. I didn't see myself.
Oh, you're up in a corner. Okay, yeah, now
Thank you, Janice, so much for having me. And thanks you to your audience for being a staunch supporter of Janice. She's an awesome woman and an awesome insurance agent. And you're doing a great job with your talk show. I love it.
Yes, yes, I'm really happy with it.
Great.
It's so much fun, especially, you know, so far I've had on really fun people.
Yes. Well, I've had a great time. Thank you so much.
Okay, thank you. And I know you're busy because I know you have a client very shortly.
I do.
Yes. Okay, thank you.
All right, you're welcome.
Bye, everyone. And we'll see you a week from Thursday. And it's going to be interesting because I'm going to be doing that show from Hawaii.
Woohoo!
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Definitely. Yes. Okay. Bye.